Earlier this year, I did something that I've been afraid of my whole life. I got to go skydiving.
It's his birthday number 20, let's go! Yeah, boy!
That's my homie RJ, and it was his birthday. He was turning 20 in 2020, so I wanted to do something special for him. He's always said he wanted to go skydiving, so I took him. But me, on the other hand, I'm afraid of heights. So I was trying my best to just not process what the heck was going on the entire time until I hear this.
You ready to go jump out of a plane from 13,000 feet?
The most ready I can be. Yeah.
Oh, 13,000 feet.
13,000.
We're gonna fall at 120 miles an hour. You ready?
I'm gonna be chill, but I just want to see the thrill on his face.
Did he just say 120 miles an hour? At 13,000 feet?
Oh my God!
If I could describe to you what it was like, you know that feeling when you walk up to a ledge or balcony and you look over and your heart drops at the thought of possibly going too far and falling? It's similar to that same feeling, except it lasts for a little bit longer than half a second. You know what? I'd rather just show you.
I'm about to jump out of plane for some reason.
So we going up in this little itty bitty plane and it is shaking. And instead of typical seats, these planes have parallel benches with no belt buckles, no cushions, nothing. Cause you know, we won't be needing them in a couple minutes. So we finally get pretty high up in the air and then it occurs to me that my diving instructors are basically touching my back. Cause you know, we gotta strap our harnesses together for safety. But at that point, I didn't even care cause immediately afterward, I just see a dude fall out of the plane. What? Now I'll tell you, I've been on dozens and dozens of flights in my life, but never have I ever thought about leaving for some fresh air. And that's when it hit me. I'm about to do this. The whole experience was crazy. My heart drops down to my belly button and flies back up to my brain while I'm awkwardly trying to fist bump the dude across from me recording the video as he's falling through the air too. I'm out here free falling through the sky and I just have absolutely no control of what's going on. However, that is still not the scariest thing I've ever done. For me, my biggest fear is something that I am still working on getting over. And I actually think it's something that a lot of other people can relate to as well. The word for this is rejection. I can remember the first time I felt the sweet sting of rejection. It was with my very first crush back in 3rd grade. Her name was I can remember feeling nervous around her all the time. I always felt like I was hiding something, but at least my secret was safe, you know? Until one day, I decided to tell my closest friends about it, but then I told one too many people. One person in particular by the name of who ultimately ended up blackmailing me into telling my crush at recess. So we at recess or whatever, it was all like, hey, Chaz has something to tell you. Again, I was extremely nervous, but for a moment, I had this glimmer of hope. Maybe she likes me back. And so I told her, hey, I like you. And I kid you not, this is exactly what she did. She hit this pose right here. And 8-year-old me was all like, that's not fair. That's not even a meme yet. That's probably why they call it a crush, because that's exactly how I felt. Crushed, smacked, flattened. Just as much as I'd like to believe that this next thing I'm about to say is not true, if I'm being completely honest, I still feel like there are parts of me where that little boy is not fully grown up yet. What's scary for me is being vulnerable by releasing content for hundreds of thousands or even sometimes millions of people to see. And what's scary about it is at that point, I have no control over how you guys are gonna react. And sometimes you react negatively. I think part of what's so intimidating about facing rejection is that we deal with it almost entirely on our own and hold on to it inside. Before you go to do anything that you might be afraid of, if you're anything like me, you might ask yourself some questions like, what if they don't like me and say no? What if I mess up? What if I'm not good enough? There are so many times I've psyched myself out of doing something amazing because of all these thoughts and questions and worries and scenarios that I let build up in my head. And most of the time, they ain't even true. Right now, currently, there are a bunch of projects that I haven't even started in videos that I have not made yet because of this stupid fear of rejection. I have not really ever put my all into my work on a consistent basis simply because I have been scared. In terms of my career, I feel like I'm in the same place that I was a year ago. And the thought of that happening again a year from now is far more terrifying than any amount of rejection that I could ever face. So here are a few things I'm gonna remind myself to do this year to make sure that that does not ever happen again. 1, cut out distractions. I spend way too much time on social media. I've told people this and they'll kindly reply, oh, but isn't that your job? Aren't you supposed to be? No. It's not my job to spend vastly unnecessary amounts of hours consuming content on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. No, that's not my job. 2, have a non-open door policy when it comes to friendships. My issue is not who I spend my time with, but how much time I spend with people. I love having downtime with friends, but this year I can't afford to prioritize hanging out with friends over my work. And just hearing those words come out of my mouth hurts my heart. But that leads me to the third thing. Number 3, be willing to do things I don't want to do. That is so simple, but it's probably the hardest thing on the list. I generally do not like discipline. I don't know many people who do like discipline because it's not fun, but I'm willing to submit to disciplining myself because I know it's good for me and extremely rewarding. 4, do the next right thing. That's some very simple and powerful advice from my friend Alan Briggs. He runs a dope life coaching network called Stay Forth Design. If something doesn't happen the way I expected, do the next right thing. If I fail at something I was trying to accomplish, do the next right thing. If I do something wrong, do the next right thing. If I don't even know what the frick going on no more, do the next right thing. It's extremely hard, but it's simple. Keep it simple. Lastly, get out my own freaking head. Can you do that? Self, please, Chaz, you want to stop? The very last line of defense standing between me following through with an idea that I have and letting it go to waste is me, my own mind. An entire war will go on up there if I let it happen. But that's the key, if I let it, and I don't have to. It's always so much easier to talk down on myself when I'm in my own head. So now I try to imagine if I were sitting right next to myself, as if I were my own best friend or something, what would I say to encourage me, him, us? What's good, bro? What's poppin'? You looking real handsome today. You looking pretty good yourself. I appreciate that, bro. Likewise. Hey, you know what? What? You're a really talented dude. Thank you. You got a whole lot of talent to put to use. You know what? I think I do. Have you been putting it to use lately? I have, but you know what? I think I could do a better job. I think you can too. Yep. Guess what? What? When it gets really hard, I want you to know that you can take a break. That's really kind of you. But you better not quit. I won't. Even if you really feel like it. I can't. Because sometimes you just got to do stuff that you don't feel like doing, but that's okay because it makes you stronger. Gains. You can do it. Yes, I can. Go work hard and make the best use of your time. Absolutely. Because you don't know when your life is gonna end and you got a freaking awesome life. I do. And guess what else? What? You're awesome. I'm awesome? You're awesome. That means a lot coming from you, me, I don't know. Just receive. All right, I will. More and more and more, I've been finding myself wanting to run as fast as I can and jump as high as I can because I'd rather fall hard and fail hard than come to the end of next year and find myself again standing in the same spot that I was a year ago just because I was afraid to move. If I had given all the thoughts in my head a chance to take root, I never would have went skydiving. I never even would have found out that it's actually not as scary as I thought it was gonna be. Sometimes you just gotta tell your brain to shut the frick up because a lot of times our thoughts and feelings, even though they're very real, don't even know what they're talking about. So I hope this encourages you to make some positive changes in your life and that you start doing more things that scare you. Yeah? Yeah. Anyways, love, peace, and chicken grease. That first part when you dive off, you just like flip it through the air?
Yeah.
Great job up there, bro. Thanks so much for coming to Go Jump Oceanside. We'll see you guys next time.